Hey everyone, I hope you're all doing okay, and welcome back to another bonus episode of Might and Magic 6. Now I know it's been a long time, a very long time since I last made a video in this series, or indeed a video of any kind in the whole channel, but sometimes life just gets in the way. Sometimes you just go through extended periods of time where you don't have enough, free time to do things like record videos. But anyway, let's not dwell on that. Let's focus on the topic of this video. And as you might have guessed from the title, we're going to be doing something rather nefarious. In this video, we're going to be doing something that I spent my entire regular playthrough meticulously avoiding. In this video, we are going to be committing murder. Man, just saying that gives me an evil thrill. But yeah, we're not just going to be, randomly killing people for fun, as cathartic and morbidly satisfying as it is. No, we are gonna be actually looking at the mechanics of what's going on, because there's some pretty interesting stuff. I'm just gonna, even though I don't really need it, I'm gonna cast all my spells and we're gonna save the game over here. And it's 8:36 p.m. Let's actually... Haste is going to be active for quite a while. That's nice. Let's wait until midnight. Which, just feels like the most appropriate time to be skulking about and committing crimes, doesn't it? Alright. So first of all, let's look at what happens when you kill something in terms of how the world around you responds. So our unfortunate victim is Natalie the Acolyte. Sorry Natalie, you just happened to be the person on screen when I wanted to make this demonstration. No, don't run away, don't run away. You might... Are you okay? She's indecisive about whether she wants to flee or not. But anyway, let's shoot Natalie dead. And as you can see, people around us, because nobody goes to sleep in this game, have noticed, and they are not angry. In fact, they are all coming at us and trying to kill us in revenge. They want payback for Natalie's death. And as you can see, every single villager in this game, even though they seemed peaceful at a glance, all of them are armed with knives. So, I don't know, something possibly sketchy with that, but let's leave that detail alone from now. One thing I want to draw your attention to is that even though this group of people is very angry at us, if we move away, and you can see this on the mini-map as well, if you move away, you will notice that these people don't seem to be too, they don't seem to be objecting to our presence, and I'm sure they're quite confused as to what's going on and why this other group of people is coming at us. And as for why that happens, I'm sure you've guessed already. Let's go back to the little, the epicenter of where we committed our crime. Is that, other villagers have moved in, but you can still see it's kind of empty right now. Is that there's essentially a detection radius in this game. And if you're within a certain distance of a villager when you kill another villager, they will, be counted as having detected it, and you will... they're gonna then go hostile. And I just want to demonstrate something. So she's standing here in this corner. Let's guide her Actually, let's guide her back into the... Okay. Okay, let's guide her into this corner. So she right now can't be seen by this dot behind the house. But if we kill her, he becomes hostile. So what that is demonstrating is that it's not about anything complicated like line of sight. It's just based on distance. Alright, let's go back to our original save before we killed anyone. And yeah, like, it was fun doing this at night, but I kind of want a bit of a light as well. Although it's gonna get dark pretty soon. You know what? You know what? It's fine. We'll deal with the darkness. One thing I want to move on to, having established that there is a detection radius, the obvious question after that is, well, can I defeat the detection radius? Is there a way for me to kill people and essentially get away with it? Can I either stalk someone until they're far away, or can I lure them somehow into a faraway spot and then kill them undetected? And the answer is yes. And again, it's gotten dark. That's okay, we'll just deal with the darkness and do our dirty deeds under the cover of night. So we killed a woman last time. Let's be egalitarian and pick a man this time. And the lucky winner is Reynaldo the chef. Alright. So let's say for some reason you don't like Reynaldo the chef. I don't know, maybe he yelled at you on his cooking TV show or something and you want to really get back at him. But you don't want to do it in front of other people because, you know, then they'll try to kill you, because that's how this society works. So one thing you could do, well, I guess you could stalk him for hours and hours and hours and hope that through chance he winds up far enough away from the other villagers that you can kill him. But that's going to be very difficult, because if you notice the way these villagers move around, they're, number one, bounded, is loosely bounded by the limits of the town, and number two, they move around in a way that's kind of similar to Brownian motion, like, you know, gas particles. Like, they will unpredictably change their direction and walk in certain ways, meaning that with a large number of them, it'll be very hard for you to just coincidentally wind up with one part of the map that's almost empty, which is what you would need for this sort of a murder to be successful. However, there is one other mechanic that I only very briefly showed earlier on, and this was, I think, in Darkmoor Village, when I wanted to encourage one of the villagers to move out of the way in one of the narrow spaces, is you can yell. So if you press the Y button, notice the expression on Roderick's face, Roderick, the leftmost character. When I press Y, he goes, yeah, and kind of grimaces to indicate that he's yelling. But not only is that a, you know, silly and funny thing to do, but it actually has an effect on the villagers. As you can see, every time Roderick yells, and, you know, anyone can yell. Oh, sorry, opened the wrong thing. That's her yelling sound. I guess all the females and all the males have the same clip. The females same move, which is actually a more coherent instruction, whereas the men just say yeah and kind of just expect people to understand what they want out of that. But anyway, we can use this to shall we say encourage, this is still Reynaldo, right? Yeah. To encourage Reynaldo the chef to go to a more suitable spot for you know, the special present we have for him. All right, let's get him as far away as we can. Okay, this is getting a bit, because he's right at the edge. It's getting a bit. I don't think he's far enough away yet. I think we're gonna have to make him. Let's let him. Oh boy, this is gonna be the whole video, isn't it? Like waiting for Ronaldo. You know, I know what we'll make him go a little bit further inland, and try and keep him away from the edge until. Oh my God, what are you doing, Ronaldo? You're ruining the entire video. I mean, if I wasn't already gonna kill you, I would definitely kill you for that. I mean, that's just, you're being very rude. All right, we have now yelled at him and brought him close to the southern edge of this little part of the map. Now, if we kill him, you can see the closest villager, which is this person over here, has remained not hostile. So we took this villager outside the detection range of all the other villagers, killed him, and now none of them are hostile. So we did it. We got away with murder. We committed the perfect crime. Or did we? Well, it turns out this is not the whole story, because there is one other mechanic involved anytime you kill civilians, and that is reputation. So for that, I'm gonna load this game again, and Reynaldo the chef is now Enoch the hunter. By the way, this will happen every time you load the game, is that it'll generate new names and professions for all the villagers. And this is a way to essentially farm for NPCs that you're specifically looking for. People will do this to get like gate masters, wind masters and stuff. But anyway, that's not the point of this video. The point is that if we look at our reputation, it's honorable. We shot Enoch the hunter, who is now the hunted. And our reputation dropped from honorable to respectable. So even though we did this under the cover of darkness, which doesn't really matter except for role-playing purposes, but more importantly, even though we did this outside the detection range of all these other villagers, the game has still docked us a full reputation rank. So essentially, the reputation in this game, I guess you can think of it as like karma from Fallout. Like, it's less of people witnessing what you did and more of just the universe just inherently knows whether you've like just somehow in the fabric of the cosmos, the actions you've done are etched in there somewhere, or woven in there if it's a fabric. I've gotta keep my metaphors straight. So that's part of it, but even that isn't the entire story, because even though I guess you can think of it as this ethereal thing that's kind of just out there, this ethereal quality, reputation does have practical implications in this game, meaning if you accrue enough negative reputation, even if you did it in the most hidden way possible, if you then go into one of these residences for the lords in the different areas, if you go there with the lowest rank of reputation, which is notorious, and there's an easy way to get a notorious reputation, which I'll show you at the end of the video, you will be sentenced to a year in prison. So reputation is simultaneously, a mystical cosmic force, and also a practical thing that the authorities in this game know about and can detect. So, yeah, like, you can think of the, guards, like the palace guards in this game, they're like Santa Claus. They know if you've been naughty or nice. So that's one thing to make note of. The other thing I want to do, and this is probably my favorite aspect to this little mechanic, is that, okay, yeah, we've killed this person, but what if, having killed him, we regret our actions? Well, obviously, we could just load our game, but one other thing we could do is we could use the dark magic spell Reanimate, bring him back to life. The best thing about this is, not only does it restore him to a non-hostile state, and by the way, that'll only work on villagers, because if you do it on monsters, as the spell says, it doesn't make them peaceful. Monsters will remain hostile, but villagers, when resurrected, will return to being non-hostile. And not only that, you can even talk to them and hire them, having killed and resurrected them, which to me is just, like, I just find that to be deeply, deeply hilarious. And I love that the game lets you do something like this. But one thing to keep in mind is that even though we brought him back to life, it did not undo the reputation damage that we incurred. So we went from honorable to respectable, and still it's at respectable. So bringing him back to life won't be enough to save our reputation. And I mentioned earlier that there is an easy way to get to Notorious reputation instantly. Some of you will already know what I'm about to do, but for those who haven't, just brace yourselves, we're gonna cast Armageddon. And as you see in the description, the spell is the Town Killer. It does a small amount of damage to every creature outside, but this small amount of damage is enough to kill every villager on the map. And killing every villager on the map, no matter how high your reputation is, especially in a large village like Freehaven, if you've slaughtered the entire population, you will be taken straight to Notorious reputation. And, ooh, look at that. A gate master right away. But yeah, you'll be sent straight to Notorious reputation, and even if you went around bringing everyone back to life, which you could do if you had enough time to kill, even if you did that, in order to get your reputation back, you would have to do the usual things for reputation. Meaning, you just have to donate money to a temple, you'd have to do quests, if you have any quests left, or you'd have to do bounties. Those are the only ways to get your reputation back. Oh yeah, and also you can hire certain NPCs, and the bonus they give you is that they'll raise your reputation by a category. Alright, we're almost done with this video. There's one last thing I want to show you. And for that, I'm going to go to... First of all, I'm going to go to Blackshire. Second of all, I'm going to unequip the highly overpowered rifles we've been using. And I'm going to... For everyone in my party, I'm going to equip their normal medieval fantasy weapons. There's one last thing I want to demonstrate. And this has to do... It's kind of an explanation for why I played my playthrough under the restriction that I did. Meaning why I played with the added condition that I can't kill civilians. The reason I did that is because it adds challenge to the game. Now, how does it add challenge? Well, if you're fighting monsters, and if you're especially at a lower or mid-level, right, you can't just sit here and tank damage, right? Because eventually they'll kill you. So usually what you'll end up doing is you'll be kiting monsters back. You'll lead them into town very often, because town is one place where you know by default there aren't other hostile creatures. Because if you're just kiting into random parts of the wilderness, you might run into even more monsters and get yourself into even more trouble. But if you're kiting monsters back, it's very easy to accidentally hit villagers, because they will wander around, and occasionally one of them will just walk in front of you as you're either shooting or even trying to attack a monster in melee, and you'll attack them in melee instead, and it's just an easy way to accidentally kill something. Another way to accidentally kill someone is with area of effect attacks, and obviously there are things like the fireball spell, but that's not the only way. So two of my party members have bows with the carnage effect. One is the artifact Percival, the other is just a bow of carnage. And if you use them in town, they will explode like that, and if a civilian happens to be nearby, I'm gonna save, because I may accidentally avoid the accident that I'm trying to show you. That's a weird way to put it. But what can happen... Yes, see, I shot the Wolfman. It said at the bottom of the screen, you shot the Wolfman. But even though he was the one who got targeted, this guy got hit by collateral damage and he died. And even though obviously it was an accident, I mean, let's leave aside the fact that I made it happen, so it wasn't an accident, but if it happened to you normally in the game, it would be an accident. But these villagers don't care. They hate us with the same passion as the villagers in Freehaven who saw us, murder someone in cold blood. So that just goes to show you, it's a very black and white, and now they're on the same side as the Wolfman, essentially. So it's a very black and white kind of morality in this game. It doesn't matter whether it's murder in the first degree or manslaughter. You will be, dealt with just as harshly by the local townsfolk. So that's the last thing I wanted to deal with, is, the concept of unintentional murders in this game. Oh yeah, and I think that covers just about everything. Yep, that's everything I wanted to talk about, and I think we're done. So before I close off this video, I just wanted to quickly give an update about my plans to do the Might and Magic 7 playthrough. I am definitely still planning on doing it. The reason it's taken almost a year, has gone by without me putting anything up, well, I won't go into details right now, but it's because of one very specific and very crazy thing that I'm trying to do, and I'm not gonna say what it is right now, but I will say that once the series starts, which hopefully it does before the end of the year, once you see what I was trying to do, you will immediately understand why it's taken this long. So yeah, keep an eye out for MM7, because it is one way or another I am gonna do it. So anyway, that on that note, I think I'm gonna call this video good. We did a deep dive into a fun little mechanic in this game, and I hope you learned a bit. I hope you had a good time, and I hope you'll stick around to see some of the other videos, because we will be doing some more fun stuff as and when I find the time to record. So, yeah, until I see you the next time, take care.